Dropbox because I was rehearsing.
All right, we're on.
Hello.
Close that
Hello,
up.
Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Hello.
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 Sorry about the rough start.
Well, sometimes that happens.
I'm just grateful that we can do it this way and have a couple of people on the call, so kind of cool.
I know, right? Cell phones have come a long way.
Yes, they have.
Where are you at, Lisa?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Where? Oh, humid Houston. I see.
Yes.
This place is humid.
Oh, I know. It's like a sauna.
Yeah, it's been pretty nice here in Atlanta here the last couple of weeks, but it's just been raining a lot for a week, and it's supposed to rain for another week. So.
Oh Lord, we hadn't gotten a whole lot of rain until yesterday and today, but it had been, the humidity had been low, and then the rain brought the humidity, so now it's like humid.
Wow.
So time.
Yeah.
So
where would you like to start, Lisa?
Yeah, I want to start at the beginning. So how did this all come about?
Oh, a few of us used to be in a cover band, and we just kind of got bored with it and decided to start writing. And we brought Billy into the scene, and we just created an original band.
Michael started managing me. I like to say he managed to get me to check out a studio. Then he managed to get me to write some lyrics, and he managed me to sing some rehearsals, and he managed me to do some shows and an album. So he's a pretty good manager. No, he's not my manager, but he managed to get me involved, and I haven't regretted it one iota. It's been a blast.
So, once the band got together, was there like an established sound that you were going to put together for this EP, or we just kind of like?
Yeah. No, they had a sound, a theme, everything. All I had to do was walk in and help be creative, write some lyrics, bounce stuff back and forth. But I'm good like that. I shape myself to what I'm doing and get into it like a character, you could call it. But they already had like a bluesy, gritty sound, which was some of my first stuff I started liking as a teenager in the 80s, because I couldn't sing. I wasn't born a natural singer like something would be on American Idol, and so I knew that when I was a teenager. I had to teach myself how to sing, and I kind of grasped on to those bands like Bang Tango and Faster Pussycat and God forbid Skid Row, but I kind of sing though actually, but you know what I mean, that character of like, you're kind of just kind of belting it out, and you might have a character voice, let's say, and
right.
So it was a good fit. It was a good call by Michael, definitely.
So why? Go ahead.
The drummer and I had been together for a while. I was playing guitar in a cover band, and Tony was a guitar player in the said band. And when we decided to try to embark on an original project, I decided to play bass. So I put a band together with Billy, and we've been writing and moving forward ever since.
So, did you already have a name picked out for this band, or how did that come about?
They already had the name Still Warning, that was part of it, and that was fine with me because, for one, I've never heard it before.
Yeah.
Still, STILL Warning. I was like, well, really what you need is something unique, and then the branding of it's up to you after that, but you don't want to have a band like, you know, Steel Tiger, and then there's 8 of them, you know, Steel, Steel, you know.
Right.
You run into all that crap with other bands with the same name, so I was down with it from the beginning.
Just creative. We just got creative when we tried to come up with something. You know, there used to be a local band in Atlanta named Steel Rain, which ended up becoming Double Drive, and Seven Dust. But we just kind of ran with some ideas with that, and we come up with Steel Warning, and we just kind of ran with it.
So what are your musical influences on either one of you?
Well, I mean, we could keep it simple to the band. I mean, the band is kind of in a nutshell, it's kind of if you mix 80s and 90s rock together, you know. But you could base bands like the Cult Electric album, you know, and Help Me Out here. Maybe a little Alice in Chains. Yeah. Like good, just straight ahead rock, Stone Temple Pilots, but still has guitar solos and drum solos, you know, because God forbid we take those out of rock and roll arena shows, you know.
I know.
You know.
So this new LP, your new 5-song EP that you just, your latest one. Let's talk about that a little bit. Can you tell me, was there some kind of message you were trying to put out, or are you just playing music and just, you know, whatever hits you?
Well, the problem I had with rock and roll, I mean, it's the 80s rock got so, like, funsy onesie at some point, and then the grunge got so darky watsy, you know, and you know, and it still didn't have, you know. So my idea was like thinking like, well, of course I asked them what kind of themes they'd like, and they'd say like good times. So I was like, okay, I get that, you know. I remember the good times of the 80s rock and stuff. But you know, I thought, well, as our music's gonna kind of fall into that 90s groove rock, you know, with the turning music, you know, you call it whatever. I kind of been pushing towards lyrics that are, I don't want to say positive, because I don't think, you know, they're exactly positive, but maybe empowering, you know, like, you know, we have songs that just say, hey, we're going to have a good time, or something about a girl, you know, that's hot, but we also have lyrics that I push that are like, you know, just positive messages, like not like world changing, but self-motivational. Like instead of, you know, being all, you know, 9 Inch Nails, I hurt myself today, I want to say I helped myself out today and it kicked ass and now I'm on it now. I like it, you know.
Right.
Like, yeah, I guess I'm just been overwhelmed with so many of my heroes, you know, they're all dead. You know,
I hear you.
You know, half my age are younger, you know, for I want to call it a mental disorder or depression, or, you know, something's up, you know, and or just life's too heavy for them and whatever, I don't know. But so I work with some dudes back in the late 90s that they were great singer-songwriters, and they considered their music what they said as mantras. So they would say things that they wanted to manifest, if you will. So I thought it'd be kind of neat to say things like that in that way, and like maybe take rock, even if it's a dark rock or a dark group, but say something kind of like uplifting or self-awareness or empowering, you know. So, you know, maybe I'm, you know, thinking it too much, but I think that is what's different. And another thing, you know, the whole Pearl Jam thing where mush mouth and marbles in your mouth and you had to decode what the dude was saying. You know, I grew up in Oklahoma where it was like, no, you say what you're saying so people can hear you and understand you. Otherwise you're, you know, it's bullshit. But of course, kids figure out what they're saying and enjoy. I'm not dissing that. You know, there's been plenty of careers based on that, but I'm just more of a direct person than that, you know, and, so.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Understand. Yeah, that's a big thing. Lyrics you can understand, and the meaning, the meanings aren't like over meaning, but they're not something to just say there's no meaning though either. If you're not getting meaning out of lyrics and music, you're not trying hard enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where I look at it, because I like open connotation, and I like story form too. Don't get me wrong, but I like open connotation. Sometimes just words sound good together. And it's a vibe more than a meaning. I wouldn't put meaning behind rock and roll. I'd put vibe. As far as how I would approach something. If it turns me on, I figure there's other people that listen to music too. It might turn them on too. That's the way I look at it.
Rock and roll.
That's what happens when you call me when I'm rehearsing, drinking beers.
So when you sit down to put out this music, how does it start? Do you start with the lyrics first, or you start with the music first, or is it all a collaborative effort?
It's collaborative. We all pitch in. We'll write lyrics and put them down on paper, and then we'll come up with music, and then we'll find what fits with the music.
I keep poetry on my notes on my phone. Michael will send me texts in the middle of the day talking about a girl he saw and how he liked her. And I'm thinking, man, if I get killed in this work truck and they find these messages from him talking about, I like the way you move and the way you smile today. It could be weird, But and then Tony's comes up with riffs all the time, and Mike can thunder the drums and throw his sticks like crazy. So everyone kind of writes their own part and contributes. And then Michael's real good about kind of going back and editing and arranging. I could do it, but I really don't. I kind of get crazy about it because, he knows how to do it in a group effort. I know how to do it as an individual. So I kind of let him handle that unless there's something that's just overwhelmingly obvious that I need to, get with him on. But he's real good at overseeing, and we record as we rehearse, as we write, which is, you can really cut the fat out and get it shaped up quick. But, if we go in a room to write a song, kind of like Kiss, we're going to come out with a song by the time we're done. That's just what we do.
Right.
We can go in a studio for an hour and come out with something if that's what you want. And it might be great. It might be, I don't know. And that's what gets thrown aside. But it's real healthy. I don't live where everyone lives. I live on the other side of the state. I don't know if you knew that, Lisa, but
no.
They all live kind of in northeast Georgia, and I live in northwest Georgia. So
okay.
Luckily, like I can go there and work, and then they can work and record and send it to me, through Dropbox, and so I can sit here every evening. I play music every evening for about 3 or 4 hours, no matter what I'm doing. And so we kind of use the media to do that, or not media, the technology. It's very helpful. We'll have scraps or whole songs and just keep working on them until they shape up or ship out. But we've only put out one record, and it's been, how long have we been together? A year and a half, Michael?
No, probably closer to... probably a little over a year and a half.
We basically got together, made a EP, and started playing live. And it's been a great year and a half, and now our next goal is to make another record and keep playing bigger and better and further out, region. was.
So what do you think
a lot of shows. We've
Excuse
pretty
me?
much done a lot of shows around the Atlanta area, and now we're looking to book regional in some of the surrounding states. We're hoping to start that this summer. Get some gigs booked. We've got somebody helping us with a few states, and we're waiting for some confirmations on some things. So hopefully we can take this regional.
So what do you think was the hardest song to put together on this EP?
It was all pretty easy. I mean, the whole band did a great job. Went to the recording studio. We got all 5 tracks done on the drums in one day.
Mm-hmm.
And we did all the guitar work in one day, and we did all the bass and vocals in a day, and the backups. So
but that was after months of pre-production, to get to that point. We had to select the songs. We had to write more than a handful, then select a handful. And so by the time we went to record, we kind of knew what we were doing, except for what the producer was going to throw on us. So kind of worked out. The hardest thing was for me is I wrote one particular song about my mom who had died in 2012, and I hadn't written anything about her, and I'd written stuff about her while she was alive. She was like a really supportive force in my life, all my life for music. So I wrote a song called Rust because she had a long, hard death. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to get into the details, but so to sing about that was hard. But like I said, when we performed it on March, my dad was there, and they were married 50 years. He was like, "Man, I heard what you said, basically, and that's cool, but and I get you, but she was in ICU and hospice for, basically from November to March, so she had a long, slow death.
Oh, wow.
It's one of them letting go things.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of writing about that, I just wrote about, am I going too much?
No.
Michael.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
What? So it was so I wrote that, and it was the second song that they gave me the music to, because we started out, they gave me music and I wrote lyrics to it, and then Michael kind of shaped it right, how it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of got to where, but so that song I kind of wrote, I think the lyrics, what they already had the music for, and so that was kind of hard to do that, but I'm really glad I did, and I'll have it forever, so I'm happy about it. Just kind of wrote about how I was missing her,
Right.
and said, never rust, mama. But I tell people to live life till they rust. Go for it. Fucking just go until you rust, because, what are your options, But anyway. The first song I wrote with them was a song they gave me, and I said, well, okay, they want me to write lyrics to this song. I go, what's the theme? And he told me it was Good Times. So I wrote a song called Good Times lyrically, and we put it together, and it just, like I said, Michael did help me along with writing. It's not like I wrote it all or anything like that. But, and that's the kind of the first track we ever wrote together was Good Times, and that has some real good vibe in it.
So if I was to catch a show, what would I expect to see on stage? Would I, because most bands that you see, I mean, they just stand there and you're like, I mean, the music is great, but they need to move around a little bit, or he's a really great performer, but he just stands there. So I mean, are you like really into the audience and feed off the audience?
That's my whole thing is connecting to the audience, and Mike is a great drummer. He's throwing bombs. He'll flip his sticks and catch them. I mean, he's a showman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great right there. Tony's a lifer guitarist. That's all he cares about is a guitar. Like, that's his thing. So when he plays a lead, he's playing it like it's his last lead forever.
Mm-hmm.
So people are digging on that. And Michael's just holding it down with the boom boom bass. That's just, like thunder. And then I'm kind of in the middle of these three guys that are doing their thing really well and doing my thing. And I kind of interact with each of them as I can, but yet focus on the crowd and bringing them in and closer and more and more. And the first time around, we kind of get a reaction of like, okay, wow, that's pretty cool, which is great. And then the second show, people are like, they're starting to feel it, like I want them to be where I'm at on the stage, like just totally like enthralled in this subject matter, and pushing it and feeling it. And, I'm real into music. Music is, there's nothing else in the world like music, and everyone knows that. I mean,
right.
There's nobody that does not like music in the whole world. And there's something about it. So I don't care, even if I was singing Knick Knack, Paddywhack, Give the Dog a Bone, I want them to feel it like a knick knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. Just like just a mood, a vibe. And I think once the band gets the people to see us a few times, they'll start to get it, and it really grow, like a bloom, like blossom, Because I feel it, and I just want people to feel it, what I feel and what we're feeling when we do it, because it's right on, and our best shows are yet to come, really.
So are you guys doing a lot of tour dates for the summer?
Yeah, we're booked up through December this year already.
Sounds like you guys are starting to take off a little bit.
Maybe so.
I think we've earned the respect of the other local artists doing what we do, like originals and stuff. And and they're giving us kind of a nod. They're not like poo-pooing us or fighting us. They're just kind of like, dude, we want to play a show with you, because they sense what we're on to. It's got like an ivy growth feeling. But, everything you do musically in every band, it has its wave. And how high the wave's going to go, you just don't know. But you can sense it. And the sensing of it is what really gets people pulled in. So we're doing a good job at letting people know that, for one, we put in the hard work, the promotion, the advertising, we just do all the groundwork ourselves. We don't just go write some songs and go show up and go, man, I hope we can get signed, or hope that people just automatically, it just magically happens. We're doing it step by step, to give us every possible chance to be successful.
Right.
And that's why I'm really proud of us,
Where can
I've got a few good. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask where we could get the music. Your latest EP.
You can get it on iTunes, Spotify. What are some of the other bigger ones?
You go listen to it on Reverb Nation, King.
Yeah, they're on. Well, as far as downloading and purchasing the whole thing, Yahoo Music has them. Pretty much all the major, Spotify. Pretty much all the major digital outlets. Google Play. I'm just drawing a blank to another.
Come on, man. You had one job, Michael. One job. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them.
But
also, stillmorning.com, and we have a merch store.
course, if you come to the show, you know, you can get a poster or CD, signs, you know, pictures, whatever you want. We hang out at the merch booth. That's pretty much our life. If we're not on stage, we're by the merch booth. So just, you know, being available.
So where are you guys playing at? What's your next couple of show dates?
June 20th, we're playing with Scarlet Cannery. And
where are they from, Michael?
Colorado. We're out of Colorado.
Yes. We got a touring band that's coming to town, and we're going to open for them basically in June 21st.
20th.
At Smithsonian Bar.
And
great
then,
music
is it August? July's still open. August 26th, Hard Rock Cafe. No lineups.
We're basically playing. We basically, Lisa, booking one Atlanta music venue a month.
Uh-huh.
And we go for good venues. I mean, we do play sometimes, you know, other places, but in general, we're trying to play like some of the best, you know, where there's a stage, lighting, like really good presentational place, you know, and trying to fill them up and stuff. And we're holding our own. It's cool. We're playing Hard Rock Cafe, you know, later. And then we're opening for Kickin' Valentina in November 9, I believe.
Yeah, in Station.
And they travel the world, they're friends of ours. So it's like we're trying to play every 4 to 6 weeks. We used to call them showcase gigs. I don't know what they're called now.
Uh-huh.
But kind of thing. I want to play Texas.
Well, yeah, because what you're all those places that you're naming are all in Atlanta, correct? Or close to Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah. Either in Atlanta, the city,
Bar, Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, or on the outskirts, like Kennesaw and whatnot. But yeah, because you know, high-end production venues.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, high-end production places that lets an original band come in and do their thing, and we hold our own to the point where they want us back again. I mean, that's great.
In a cover band town, you know, it's really not a rock town. Atlanta hadn't been a rock town for a long time.
I know Atlanta used to be like a big, huge music.
Oh, dude, this place used to be hot, and then it died. Okay, any rock that you get here is cover bands or tribute acts. All right, so for an original band to come up and say, okay, we need to start gigging, it was hard. It was hard a year ago for us to get started.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems, and this has just been my perception, but it seems like there are more original bands coming up in this area than I've seen since probably the late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And venues are, you know, they're booking original band gigs to where it's a 3-band night and they're all 3 original bands. We're starting to see more of that again in Atlanta. So I sense the music scene in Atlanta is changing, and hopefully in a rock and roll way, you know.
Right. So I know in Houston we have both. We have cover bands and we have original bands, and then we have touring bands that come through, and then we have national acts that come through. But you know, we're the 4th largest city in the U.S., so we have a lot of venues here. You know, there's always something going on in some part of the night somewhere.
We don't get all the nationals. A lot of them will skip Atlanta. They'll come close, you know, but they won't come here.
Uh-huh.
You know, like bands that you'll see up in the Midwest, you won't see a lot of them here. It's not the same market here for some reason. I guess because I don't know. I never could understand why they do that. They just changed so much. But we're grateful that these venues in Atlanta are allowing this to happen. We've been very grateful and gracious to have played some of the places we've played here.
So what's next for you guys?
Like I mentioned, we want to go regional with our act and see just how much further across country we can take it. And end of the year, first of next year, go back into the studio, maybe do a full-length album.
We've got a lot more material we've been building up that we want to get on a record for our second record. So we have to work towards that on the side of building this. So like you said, it might take another 6 months to get the right place, the right producer, and get all the quirks worked out on the material. But we sorry to stretch. But we got some people interested in helping us. I don't know, it's rather new, but we got someone that's been in the music business, at least on a mom and pop shop level, for a long time. Put it this way, they're older than me. And they pretty much told me directly they wanted to help this, be a part of this and help it out and push it. And that was before we played. And after we played, they said, God almighty, it's even better live, so I'll get to work on it Monday. And that just happened this weekend. So, another person willing to devote their full time towards this band, it's a good thing.
Right.
I like the person all right, so they seem like good people, so we might be able to push this thing along.
Right.
You gotta surround yourself with like-minded people.
Exactly.
Like they say in the restaurant business. In the restaurant business, you have an idea like the best tasting pizza or ribs or whatever. That's great, but then you go open a place. Well, that's hard as F, and you survive for a year. Well, what do? Well, you get someone to manage it that's awesome, and then you open another one. But if you don't have good employees, you're fucked. So.
Right.
We're kind of embarking upon bringing in outside people that are wanting to do what they do with what we do, and so that's enlightening. That could be possibly good.
Anything else you guys would like to add to this that we need to know or would like us to know for those listening?
I don't know. Is this on tape or is this going to be on written format? I don't
know. Is this live or is this Memorex?
It's recorded. It's recorded.
I've got questions. Oh my God! I dropped the F-bomb too. Sorry, Mama. Anyway, well, we're not into competitive music. We're into this is our vibe. Come join in. Bring your vibe. Let's make it happen. It's that simple, I'm not going to argue with every guy wearing a leather jacket. I got time.
I know, right?
Just keep an eye out on this, basically.
Yeah, come check us out, and
check us out. Keep an eye on this.
Well, we don't want to be good. We want to be cool. We don't want no one leaving our show going, oh, they were pretty good. That's the worst fucking thing ever. I want people to leave our show and go, I know, it's pretty cool. And that's it,
Right.
And maybe, come see us again because it was pretty fucking cool,
Right.
We're there to provide a service of rock and roll, an outlet, music, whether you play it or just listen to it or both, dig it.
Well, I hope you get to make it to Houston. I would love to see you guys, and I think it would be a pretty good, awesome show by the sounds of it and what I've seen and what I've heard.
Thank you.
Good. Well, that's good. That's what we want. I want to give a big shout out, if I can.
Go ahead.
Give a big. I just want to give a big shout out to everyone everywhere on social media.
Rock and roll.
See, there you go.
as I threatened to do on my artist page. Mission accomplished.
Well, thanks, guys, for sitting down with me and talking about your band and everything. And I hope you get to make it down into Houston sooner or later.
I'm sure we will. We'll work our way out there.
Yeah. We're going to try to hub to Oklahoma and back. So we can get to Oklahoma. You know, there's a 40 and then there's the 20 back is the way I look at it, you know.
Mhm.
Take the I-40 west and shoot south and take the 20 back east. That'd be a good little run right there.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for your time, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys out there on the road.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
Let's make it happen.
All right. Cool. Have a good evening.
Still warning. Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.